Well, I'm Ashley Kerbs, the Ambassador Animal Manager at Loveland Living Planet Aquarium, and I am joined today by Fester, the rainbow boa constrictor. Now they get the name rainbow because when the sunlight hits their scales just right, they act like little prisms and they send off lots of different colors all over the skin of their body. And so this helps to break up their shape when they're in a tropical rainforest. Up in the trees, that sunlight hits them, all of their skin starts to kind of glimmer or glow that rainbow, almost like a soap bubble when it's floating through the air. And then predators might not be able to see them as easily. Helps to kind of break up that one pattern of being a snake. Now also they have these eye spots along their body that's also supposed to deter predators because it looks like a larger animal having those large eyes, and the predator doesn't know where their face is. This snake is a type of predator, which also means that they have to be able to camouflage from their prey. So they have something called counter shading, which means that they're dark on their back, but light on the bottom. And that's because in a tropical rainforest, when they're sneaking up on a predator from above, the prey looks up and they see all the light coming down from the sunlight, or the light body blends in. And then if the snake is below their prey and the prey looks down, the bottom of the rainforest is covered in shadows. So having that darker background and that brownish pattern helps them to blend into the bottom of a tropical rainforest. Now the name boa constrictor is because they squeeze their prey. They are a constrictor. So when they find food, they will wrap around it, kind of like he's doing to my hand right now, and they'll squeeze it so hard that the animal can no longer breathe, and then blood doesn't pump anymore from the heart. And then the snake can open its mouth and swallow it whole. So snakes like Fester here can open their mouth and swallow something about 5 times bigger than their mouth or their head. So thinking about small mammals and birds and even sometimes amphibians are going to be things that they're going to eat. And because they eat such a large meal, they only have to eat about once a month. So it's kind of interesting. Rainbow boas have a special adaptation that usually only pythons have. And right along their mouth, they have what's called heat sensors, or little pits right along their jawline. And that allows them to be able to see in the infrared. So since they're hunting mostly warm-blooded animals, having those heat pits really helps them to be able to sense where that warm-blooded animal is by seeing in that infrared. That's usually an adaptation that boa constrictors don't have, but the rainbows are kind of an exception to that rule. Now Fester is about 6.5 feet long if we were to spread him out completely. A lot of people think that a snake is a head, a body, and a tail, and that their tail is most of their body. But really, their tail starts right back here. So it's not that their whole body is their tail. Their whole body is their body. They have organs that spread all the way down until they get to their tail, and then that's where everything's excreted. One thing that you can tell the difference between a boa constrictor and a python is how they lay eggs or how they reproduce. Boa constrictors have eggs on the inside and they hatch and it looks like they're having live birth, whereas pythons will lay eggs and then they kind of sit in a nest until they hatch. Fester is 15 years old, but these snakes can live about 20 to 25 years, so they have a pretty long lifespan. You can kind of see where they would live in a tropical rainforest based on how he's holding on to me. They're very good climbers. It's just like one giant muscle that really is acting like what he would do in the natural environment is being able to climb trees. So you might find them on the ground, but a lot of times they'll be just chilling, hanging out up in the trees of a rainforest. Now we were kind of talking about predators. Their main predator is going to be birds of prey, and usually when they're a lot smaller, so maybe hawks or eagles. But one thing that really affects these animals is habitat loss. So rainforests are disappearing, and there's a lot fewer rainforests than there were just 10 years ago. So we can even help snakes like Fester by doing our part here and reducing how much plastic and paper we use, even reducing the amount of meat or beef that we eat, because a lot of the rainforests right now are being cut down to make way for farming. So if we even just reduce our meat intake by 1 day, just Meatless Monday, we're really making a difference. And then our choices here in Utah really matter to help out animals all over the world. If you ever see a snake in the wild, that's an amazing thing. I hardly ever get to see them, and when I do, I get so excited. You just want to go out, maybe take a picture of it, tell your friends that you saw a snake, but leave them there. They have an important role to play in their ecosystems, especially here in Utah. They're eating all the rodents that could carry diseases that could transfer to people. Snakes don't get those diseases. So by eating those rodents, they're really inadvertently helping the humans. So just leave them where they are and they'll do their part, and we can enjoy them from afar. So if you come to the aquarium, we have Peaches, our giant anaconda. She's in our South American hallway. We also have vine snakes in Asia, and they're really hard to find because they look like little vines. They blend into their habitat. We also have other ambassador snakes that might come out. You might be able to see other rainbow boa constrictors, or we have red-tail boas, and we have a Bredl's carpet python that gets to come out and visit guests as well.